sort of social protest and the representation of the nation through popular voices. And we had Bob Marley over there, as it were, and people like Victor Jara or Violeta Parra, who spoke through the popular voice and the rhymes, and they made an effort to go into the countryside to gather popular songs and things that would be lost in the same way that you would do in Jamaica. And somehow one of the great things about Bob and the Wailers, and like most Jamaican artists, is that they're not just speaking for themselves. They're really sort of like, they're like farmers. They just gather all the stuff, the cultural stuff that is throughout the island, and they just voice it out like if it was a big speaker to the world. And so that now there's a reference to all that culture with music, with rhymes, in a very beautiful way. Peter Tosh, for example, is very good at that. Peter Tosh can do sort of like nursery rhymes kind of songs. Although they're very militant, they're nursery rhymes. So you can dance and you can feel good about it. You see, there are pressures. And in my country, there was a big tradition. Nixon came along and Kissinger, and they just they did a bit what they know how to do. And they did the same in Jamaica during Michael Mandel's period. And so they cut down a bit the popular voices for a period. And so in Chile, for example, in my country, as a result of that, I just my family had to leave, sort of exiles. And somehow, a lot of the artists were exiles themselves. And so that's how I come along. So 73 for me is very important. It's the same way that 73 is very important in this film. It's just that's how the combination. And also, the relationship with Esther is very strong. We see eye to eye to many things, and we have really looked after each other for many years. And I do believe that coming from the New World, we have a duty to speak on behalf of the nations that haven't got a voice. I mean, we don't have a voice yet. So one way or the other, we're going to get through.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. It was really, really excellent film. I just wonder, you said it's the first time it's been shown in London. I just wonder what the plans are in terms of getting it out there and getting the message out there.
We are gathering in cinemas. In fact, Dick Fontaine, which is the head of the film school, in the documentary sections, him and his partner, Uguletu, have been very helpful in sort of creating a whole platform for other cinemas to come along and be showing the film. There's a cinema at Maida Vale who also would like to show it. There's a real screening for the film, and also Dick Fontaine's film called Sonny Rollins Beyond the Notes, a very important documentary. And so we're trying to sort of like come together as independents and trying to show alternative films that have to do with not American sort of action movies. And so we can do it on Sundays, we can do it on Saturdays, another time. And there's a website, Bob Marley, The Making of a Legend. And there's a DVD, there's a CD soundtrack with the music by Tim Hain and Aquila and Chris Anderson and even Esther Anderson. I mean, the song that they play when the Burnin release comes out saying Wanted Man, that is Esther singing there. And she did the recording there in New York, sort of like, during the 80s, just really nice. So there's a huge soundtrack. And so you go to the website, BobMarleyTheMakingOfALegend.com, you can get the DVD and the soundtrack. But it will never be the same as showing it on film, where it really, you can really feel, and it's almost like you are embracing Bob and you're embracing Peter and Esther. You really, you are just so close that it becomes a true emotional experience. And that's, so we want to go around London and then take it somewhere else and then go to France and go to America, by the time we finish, we'll be 65.
Yeah, music.
So, Tim, we've got about maybe 5 minutes? 2 minutes? So why don't we do Cry for Love? Okay. 5 minutes, just very quickly. So, Cry for Love. We were sued by the publishers. And so we turned around and we came up with a beautiful soundtrack by all these artists. And one of the artists is Tim Hain, that brought this music. It was inspired by Bob.
By an interview, you've probably all seen it. Bob is in a red jacket by the ocean, just talking about basically his right to be a free man. And one day that phrase from that interview just came to me from nowhere, where he's saying, I don't care who the guy is, every man was a baby one time. And I started humming it, singing it, and I just went and looked at the interview and wrote down a few notes and wrote a story, which is Bob's story really, but also mine and everybody's. I think it's a very personal song and a very universal song. It goes like this. Bob Marley, sitting in the morning sun by the ocean in New Zealand, turning questions into meditations. Bob Marley says I'm under no obligation to bow down to Babylon. The iron lion from Zion says I've been Rasta from ever since. I'm not convinced by the big guys with their big ideas to be rulers of I and I don't care who the guy is. Every man was a baby one time. I don't care who the guy is. Biggest man was a baby once, crying for his mama, crying for his papa. The cry of a sufferer is like no other. It's just a cry for love. That's right. Every man is born with it. Cry for love. What do we do with it? Do we even hear it or misinterpret it? And we have been in conflict ever since. Separate pauper and prince, and the big guy has his big ideas to be rulers of I and I don't care who the guy is. Every man was a baby one time. Don't care who the guy is. Biggest man was a baby once, crying for his mama, crying for his papa. Cry of a sufferer. What's it like no other. Cry for love. It's just a cry for love. A cry for love. Cry for love, yeah. Once a man, twice a child, and it's only for a little while. This cry for love. Yes, I don't care who the guy is. Every man was a baby one time. Yeah, just crying, crying for his mama, crying, crying for his papa, crying for love. Yeah, a crying, a crying, a crying for love, cry for love, cry for love. Bob Marley was a musical revolutionary. Says my right is my right, 'cause all I have is this life.